Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. As I've been saying, I didn't realize when I chose to end this show with a tournament how many shows I was committing to. We are in game 6 of 9 to 10 in the first round, and I'm glad I get to see my friends and funny comics and do this show as much as possible, but it's real weird to say this game is ending over the course of 3 months. If you're new here, I don't understand you, but I welcome you. Thank you for coming. Don't know why you chose game 6 of a finale tournament, but if you like it, go back. There's over 200 episodes of this. I'm sure you'll like those too. Keep this window open. I need those views. The people here, they have played this game before, but a real quick idea of what's going on tonight. I've gone to IMDb. I've pulled parental warnings for a whole bunch of movies. I'm going to read these warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what the movies are based on those warnings. Like I said, this is a tournament, which means everybody who wins one of these first round games moves on to the semifinal, as well as a number of high scorers who didn't win that I have not decided yet. Those semifinals will find the final four. They'll compete in the last game. Winner will get $100. I think that that's everything I need to say about the show. And I will say to my contestants here, we're not doing themes anymore. Originally, it was because I wanted to use all of the movies I had left. Turns out, did not have as many left as I thought. So the movies tonight are going to be a combination of first-time movies and movies that have only been used once. So I made sure none of my contestants here know what those movies are unless they watch the show. And I feel like I've done the show. I've done the show over 200 times. I do not remember most of these movies. I can watch the show the next day and guess along. But what I will do is after you pick a year, I'm going to give you at least 3 themes that the movie could have fit in to give you a chance at 5 points before I even start reading clues. Now that all of that business is out of the way, let's bring on our guest for tonight. Let's start with somebody who has been on this show since episode 1. One of the originals. I've just been thrilled every time she's here. She's only been on 4 games in that time period, but she's won 2, lost 2, has a combined total of 42 points. Hal Griffin, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. You keep hosting this on nights when I'm working.
You've also, I don't know that it's counted. I think you've done you did like an in-person show at least once, I think. Back when I was doing those.
Maybe.
You either did or I invited you on. But I'm happy to have you here. Also returning to the show tonight, somebody who has only 1 fewer appearance than Hal. 3 games. This could be his first win tonight. It's already happened twice. Carrie Ross got her first win. She's moving to the semifinals. Rachel Dunbar got her first win. She's moving to the semifinals. With a combined total score in 3 games of 0 points, Casey McNeal, welcome back to the show.
Hey, this is my night. This is my night.
I believe in you, Casey. I looked.
Somebody's got to.
You scored a 2 in one game, a -2 in one game, and a 0 on your third game. So you're nothing if not consistent.
At least I got enough points to go to Final Jeopardy, right? 0, nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you don't. 0 points won't get you into Final Jeopardy. I'm sorry to give you the rules for Jeopardy too. And finally, a powerhouse at this game. 13 appearances. He's won 7 of them.
Whoa.
143 combined points. Zach Jones, welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to make an appearance in the Twilight episodes. The final season.
I'm so happy to have you back. We would have been missing a big player had you decided you were done with this shit.
Never, never.
Well, I'm excited to have you all here. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right to the movies. We're doing 12 of them tonight. I'm going alphabetical order on picking the years, which means, Casey, you get first pick of the years. Should we start with a movie from 1968, 2007, or 2013?
Oh, 1968, definitely.
I already started typing it. 1968, I will tell you about this movie. It has at least 2 sequels. It's got over 90% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and it features monsters and or aliens. If anybody wants to guess for 5 points based on that.
1968. Planet of the Apes.
You know what? I'm gonna not count that. Casey, remember to buzz in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I will tell you, not Planet of the Apes. You took that off the board, but I don't want to be taking points away from you so early in
I'm
this
sorry.
game.
I'm sorry.
I really want you to win. I want you to beat that. That would be so funny to me.
Don't patronize me.
For 5 points in this movie from 1968, under frightening and intense scenes, all of the main characters die.
Oh, I think
Oh, you got it?
maybe.
You want to guess?
Yes. Night of the Living Dead.
I will let that happen because you didn't just yell it out, but Cal, also, feel free to buzz in.
How did I not buzz in? Wait, how do I buzz in?
Reaction.
If you go to reaction,
choose a reaction button.
Oh shit. There. My bad.
Good.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay.
It is Night of the Living Dead.
Dang.
Yeah, they shoot him at the end. Pardon me. Sorry, I didn't mean to shout that out.
You're spoiling one of the most well-known horror movies.
You spoiled it first.
All of the main characters die.
They sure do.
Also in this movie, violence and gore, partially decomposed face of a dead body is shown. Very surprising. Violence and gore, a little girl kills a woman with a masonry trowel. This is probably the goriest
that was
scene
the
in the
best
whole movie.
Scene. Yeah, that's the best.
It's still visceral.
When she comes back to life, that's like...
Violence and gore, the movie was released in 1968, so it's pretty tame for today's standards and compared to other horror films, especially its sequels, which are extremely graphic. And frightening and intense scenes, this is the first film about a zombie apocalypse with a focus on a group of survivors trapped in a house on the countryside.
Also, the first movie with an ambling monster that can't catch the lady. In the very beginning, he's like going so slow.
That can't be the first movie to do that. Have you seen... Nosferatu was not rushing to catch his victims.
Yeah, that's true.
Hal takes an early lead with 5 points. Hal also gets to pick this next year. Would you like a movie from 1956, 2002, or 2015?
Let's do 2002.
Hell yeah, I'm 2 for 2 on guessing which years people are going to choose.
Yeah.
2002, I'll tell you that this movie has an animal in the title. It's based on TV, and it has at least 2 sequels. For 5 points under violence and gore, we watch a few boxing matches, each ending with a knockout. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a man's bare butt is seen as he urinates on a snow cone.
Wait.
Hal has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Hal?
Is it Monsters Incorporated?
It is not Monsters Incorporated.
Okay,
There,
that's weird.
there's a joke about that, yes.
Yeah.
For 3 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a man snorts wasabi as if it were cocaine. Zach has a guess. Anybody else? Zach, what do you think this movie is?
I believe this is Jackass, the movie.
This is Jackass the movie.
I couldn't figure out what I couldn't think of an animal in the title. I'm like, animal in the because it was sounding like The Hangover for a minute.
Oh yeah. I mean, those movies share blood.
That had a giraffe in it, but it didn't have a wasn't in the title.
The other clues: violence and gore. A bare-chested men sit in a room attaching an electrical muscle stimulator to various body parts.
Yeah, I might have got it on
chest,
that.
Testicles, we get a glimpse. Anus, we get a glimpse of testicles and penis. They scream in pain each time the machine is turned on. And violence and gore, a couple of men punch each other in the head, neck, and chest as they roll down a street in a huge shopping cart while being pummeled by dust and debris from explosions on both sides of them. They end up crashing and get tossed into a street vendor's cart. That puts Hal down to 4, Zach at 3, Casey at 0.
Hold my record.
Zach, would you like a movie from 1973, 1990, or 2015?
I'm gonna say 1990, and I'm gonna guess it is Video of My Birth.
Well, finally, I'm wrong about what year somebody was gonna guess.
Okay.
1990, this movie has a one-word title. It is over 90% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and IMDb calls it horror. For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the protagonist has to win a collection and also retrieves other liquors from his basement.
Say that again.
I'll try. The protagonist has a... Oh, that's why they forgot a letter here. This is what I get for copying and pasting and not doing... The protagonist has a wine collection and also retrieves other liquors from his basement. For 4 points under violence and gore, the faces of corpses are seen in a morgue. For 3 points under violence and gore, a squished bug is seen under a man's shoe.
Is it Men in Black? That's too early for that, huh?
Is that your guess, Casey?
Yes, that is my guess. Men in Black. And I'm wrong,
right.
but
you went through all of the process and you are correct. It is not Men in Black. For 2 points under violence and gore, several scenes of people dying from bug bites or their bodies after they have been sucked dry of blood. Sometimes you see a close-up of the bug biting a person and a tiny bit of blood is shown exiting the bites. Zach has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Zach?
Is this Arachnophobia?
This is Arachnophobia.
Oh.
I was going to say Swarm for a minute.
Me too.
Last clue in this that I feel like would have helped a lot. Frightening and intense scenes. Those afraid of spiders may be frightened when watching this film.
That should have been the 10-point question.
Zach now at 5 points, Hal at 4, Casey at -1. But we go back to Casey. Would you like a movie from 1960, 2008, or 2015?
Oh, we'll do 1960 again.
All right, let's see if this one works better. 1960, this movie, IMDb calls it a comedy. It eventually led to a TV show, and it is over 90% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. We had all the bad movies last game, and now we're
I
getting
like your
two
choice
good
to say
movies.
IMDb calls it a comedy. Now automatically I'm thinking like that it's not that funny.
Yeah, right.
Uh-huh. This is I am saying that because I got genres from IMDb directly. If anybody disagrees, it's not my fault.
Okay.
For 5 points under violence and gore, a man is chased by a few people trying to kill him. Gunshots are fired, but he doesn't get shot. For 4 points under violence and gore, a man is run over by a train and killed.
A comedy.
For 3 points under violence and gore, a man reads out a magazine aloud called Pain with a bunch of gory details.
With a bunch of
I'll
what?
tell you gory details.
Oh.
I will tell you Pain is in caps and has, I believe, 6 exclamation points, if that helps. For 2 points under violence and gore, a man goes to a dentist to get pain. Another man nervously tortures his mouth, and the man seems...
Yeah, we're all in now.
No,
Where are you, Nick? Nick's got to get
Last
unfrozen.
clue for 1 point under frightening and intense scenes.
We're in.
Oh.
We were in
we're
before.
People are in. Everything froze on my end, and then everybody's hands came up, except for Zach.
Can you
We
repeat
were in on the higher
movie is?
points.
the last question? The clue number 2. Can you repeat it?
Clue number 2. Which one? The pain?
No, the 2-point clue.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
People were on board for that. Did everybody buzz in? My connection just went
Yes.
Fritzy, or is it just Casey and Hal?
Yes.
No, Zach raised his hand too.
Zach, you did raise your hand, is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Yes. But
Okay.
I would like you to repeat the 2-point question.
No, because it was on 3 points that we raised our hand, right?
Oh, was it?
No,
I think it was
everybody.
two.
Oh,
Yeah, it
was
was
it two?
2.
Okay, so repeat the 2-point question.
Okay, I'll repeat the 2-point. A man goes to a dentist to get pain.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
man nervously tortures his mouth, and the man seems to be enjoying it. I saw you all. I thought you were thinking, and not frozen on my screen. Casey, what is this movie?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Zach,
I believe it's Little Shop of Horrors.
Hal,
I was gonna say Little Shop of Horrors.
it is the Little Shop of Horrors.
Yay.
Wait, what year
That
was
makes
this?
so much more sense. This was 1960. Was the
Oh.
original?
It's not a musical
No, it's the
It's not a
it's
musical.
the one with
with Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
I was going to say I was shocked that nobody was answering on the 2-point clue. I thought that was a giveaway. And it
Yeah.
turns out, no, my internet just decided, let's lag a little bit. Last clue in that frightening and intense scene, some may jump when the plant says, feed me. The theme is a plant that eats people, which may disturb some. Zach is at 7, Hal is at 6, Casey on the positives with 1.
Woo-hoo.
Hal, would you like a movie from 1989, 2017, or 2022?
To 2017.
2017.
Yeah.
All right, this movie from 2017 features at least one musician in the cast. It's a sequel. There's a gendered word in the title, and there's a color in the title. For 5 points under violence and gore, there are a number of highly stylized scenes of combat featuring heavy blows as well as the use of weapons such as guns, flamethrowers, dog robots, and explosives. For 4 points under violence and gore, a person is cut in half with an electric lasso. No blood, but still shocking.
Nick, I think you're frozen.
I was afraid it was
For
me.
Casey, have you buzzed in?
Is it the Kingsman Golden Circle?
Casey, for 4 points, this is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Wow.
Nice.
I didn't know if anybody was going to remember the subtitle of that movie.
Yeah, you had to get Golden Circle. Was the only one with the lasso.
Also in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, violence and gore, a man is turned into ground meat while still alive, head first. The meat is made into a burger and another man is forced to eat it. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking. The entire plot of the movie revolves around drugs. There's a drug cartel that gives people drugs, and then everyone who uses it becomes diseased, and they pretty much promote it. Even the president's assistant says that she wouldn't be able to do her job without drugs. And violence and gore, a man gets a tattoo of a circle on his chest made of molten gold. Really tried to give that subtitle away in that last clue. This movie features Elton John, if anybody doesn't remember that Elton John is in this movie.
Honestly, my first instinct was The Greatest Show, The Greatest Showman.
Ah.
Yeah,
Like,
I was also thinking
describing
that Harry was that Harry Styles movie or what?
Dunkirk.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about that at first.
No, we got Elton John and the guy who plays Elton John in this movie.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, we got a game here. Zach at 7, Hal at 6, Casey at 5. Zach, would you like a movie from 1930, 1998, or 2014?
Let's do 2014.
2014. All right, this movie from 2014 is based on a book. There's a pronoun in the title, and it was nominated for an MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss. That was a whole episode I did, and I really wish I could do more of that.
All right.
Okay, 2014, profanity. Some Swedish profanity in a rap song. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a boy talks about how he's in a circle of virgins, which seemed like he was hinting to a girl he wanted to have sex. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, there is an anticipation of death throughout the movie that can be very upsetting to those with health anxiety. Zach, what do you think this movie is?
Is this The Fault in Our Stars?
Not just nominated, but won the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss. This is The Fault in Our Stars.
I don't know anything about that movie other than the girl dies.
I can tell you the movie also has a teen girl seen taking multiple drugs for medical use. And under profanity, stereotypical references to physicians, teenagers, children with cancer, parents, support group leaders, Americans, Christians, temperamental authors, alcoholics, fickle girlfriends, and virgins.
This was 2014.
2014. This is a 10-year-old movie. Zach's up to 10. Hal at 6. Casey at 5. Casey, I'm going to ask you anyway, but would you like a movie from 1958, 2001, or 2014?
58.
Uh-huh.
I go up with
My
those.
dad's birth.
I wasn't alive, you know. But these were the movies that played throughout the 60s when I was a kid, so.
Well, let's see if you know this one. 1958, it has at least 2 sequels. IMDb calls it sci-fi, and it's over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. We're getting all of these movies tonight.
Mm.
For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, boy drinks watered-down wine. For 4 points under sex and nudity, some ballet dancers wear tutus that reveal cleavage and their legs. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, there is a buildup of tension during a scene which the female lead pulls a towel from her husband's head to see his face. Zach has a guess. Anybody else?
I can't afford to guess.
What do you think, Zach? Oh, hold on. Hal, what do you think?
Maybe. I want to say The Fly.
Zach, what do you think?
Is it The Invisible Man?
It is not The Invisible Man. This movie is The Fly.
Yes.
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done,
That
Hal.
makes more sense.
That meant now I feel bad because that one I know, but I just didn't get it from the clues.
I was just watching something about the Jeff Goldblum Fly recently. Okay. Yeah.
It's a fun movie. It's you know,
Yeah, in
it's
the
not
end,
the
when you
80s
get
one,
the
but
guy
it's
going,
fun.
"Help me."
Uh-huh.
That's the best part, you know.
Violence and gore, blood is visible on a hydraulic press. A man's body is barely visible next to it. The man is released from the press and pulled out. The character's dialogue suggests that the body is headless and has no left hand, although that's not shown to the audience. And violence and gore, a man's head and hand are attached to an insect's body when he is caught in a web. A spider is seen creeping towards him as he desperately cries, "Help me, help me." It is implied that the spider is munching on his head, but no blood or gore is visible.
So the guy who did the acting for that scene, he was really pissed because he was like screaming really loudly and like giving it his all, and then they sped it up really high pitched. So he's like, you can't even. He was like, I was working so hard, and they just like turned it into this weird meme. Or I sound stupid. Okay.
We got a
I can't
tie in
remember the
first
actor's
place.
name.
Got a tie in first place. Zach and Hal both at 9. Casey's still at 5. Still very much not only in the game but in the tournament. Hal, would you like a movie from 1982, 2006, or 2015?
2006.
2006. This movie from 2006 is based on a book. It features somebody who was nominated for an Oscar for acting in 2024. And the title is a full sentence. Yeah, that clue is harder the further away from the Oscars we get. For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, there is a lot of tension between the protagonist and the antagonist. So much tension.
Good job, screenwriter. You did the thing.
I am frightened. This is intense. For 4 points under sex and nudity in the opening scene, we see many young, slender women getting ready for work. They are putting on bras and panties, which is seen, but there's no nudity. There is one brief camera shot of a woman walking around in her underwear, but that's it. Hal has a guess. Anybody else want to guess?
I can't.
Hal, what is this movie?
Devil Wears Prada.
This is The Devil Wears Prada, featuring nominee for Best Supporting Actress Emily Blunt.
Has Emily Blunt won an Oscar at this point?
I don't think so.
I guess, like, technically Oppenheimer won, but I don't think that counts.
It doesn't, because she lost for Oppenheimer.
I think she has Golden Globes though.
Yeah.
Which is not really a contest.
Yes.
Other clues in here. Sex and nudity. There's a scene that lasts a few seconds of a lingerie model photo shoot. Frightening and intense scenes. There's one particular scene when a young woman is struck by a taxi. It's mildly intense and unexpected. And violence and gore, a statement, quote, "A million girls would kill for this job," is repeated a few times, implying violence, but it's mainly related to luck and comedic purposes. No violence actually happens when the statement is said.
I want to meet one of the people that writes these.
I've been doing this show for over 3 years, and that's all I've wanted to do. Is find somebody who writes these and have them on. Hal has taken the lead with 13 points. Zach at 9. Casey at 5. Zach, would you like a movie from 1939, 1987, or 2008?
Let's do 1939.
Let's do 1939. If you can believe it, this movie from 1939 is over 90% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a gendered word in the title, and IMDb calls it a comedy. Case is going to take... Oh, Zach, we got 2 guesses right off of that. Zach, what do you think?
I'm going to guess The Wizard of Oz.
Casey, what do you think?
His Girl Friday.
It is not The Wizard of Oz. It is also not His Girl Friday. But good guesses. Those
are really good guesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to think for a little bit if wizard was gendered or not. And
I feel like I would have thought too hard about it and not included it.
Okay.
For 5 points under sex and nudity, no nudity. Adultery is mentioned throughout the film. Plenty of sexual innuendo and dialogue. Woman is modestly shown in a bathtub, covered to the neck in soap suds. For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a woman accuses a man of being drunk over the phone, but the man is not seen. The same man is described as a drunk again later on, but still isn't seen. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, young girl weeps when she finds out her parents are divorcing. It's a pretty intense scene for a very small child. For 2 points under profanity, none. At the end of the movie, one woman alludes to the word bitch, but never actually says it.
What year was this again?
1939.
Oh.
For 1 point under violence and gore, this might be the first one nobody gets. A feud between 2 women breaks out into a slapstick catfight. One strikes the other, they tear at each other's clothing, pull hair, kick, roll on the ground, and one bites the other's leg. But all the action in the scene is comical and not actually violent.
I'm going to hate myself.
Zach, you want to take a guess?
Is it My Man Godfrey?
It is not My Man Godfrey. I'll say for no points, just in case. The line where a woman alludes to the word bitch is said by Joan Crawford. It's a great line. She says, "There's a word for women like you, but they don't use it in polite society outside of the kennel." This is The Women.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's a real fun movie.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Not a single man in the cast of the movie.
Oh.
Aptly named.
That puts Hal at 13, Zach at 7, Casey at 4. We are speeding through this game. We only have 3 movies left, one more for each of you. Casey, would you like a movie from 1983, 1993, or 2014?
2014. I'm done with the early stuff.
All right. Okay, 2014. This movie was based on TV. It's got at least 2 sequels. It then became another TV show, and it's set at least partially in New England.
Oh.
Zach already has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Zach?
Is it The Equalizer?
This is The Equalizer.
Oh,
Takes place in
damn.
Boston for some reason.
I love that movie.
I was going to guess Divergent, so fine.
The idea that it was made in 2014 based on a movie or based on a TV show and has already become another TV show.
There's very few things that fit that category.
Yeah, based on a TV show and then became a TV show.
Yes.
Well, I wrote these down, so the clues for this movie. Violence and gore, a man drills another man in the head. We see blood on the drill. Frightening and intense scenes. The scene where a man is hanged with a barbed wire is very graphic and quite disturbing. It lasts pretty long and will be very hard to watch. Violence and gore, a man fires a nail gun at another man in slow motion several times. We see the nails hit the man, and we see a lot of blood coming out of his mouth and legs. Violence and gore, a large explosion occurs in slow motion during the Home Mart scene. A man dies in the explosion. And sex and nudity, fuzzy full frontal male nudity towards the end of the movie when Denzel confronts the Russian boss and he's in the shower. Hal at 13, Zach at 12. Casey can still catch up at 4 points. Hal, would you like a movie from 1973, 2000, or 2017?
Let's do 2000.
2000.
Yeah, pre 9/11.
All right, penultimate movie from 2000. I can tell you that this movie's based on a book. It's got a place in the title, and it has under 5 stars out of 10 on IMDb. We're done with the good movies.
Yeah. Give me the garbage.
For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the main villains get intoxicated in a handful of scenes. For 4 points under sex and nudity, concubines are briefly mentioned by the main villain.
This is based on a book?
Based on a book.
Okay.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, the CGI is terrible, so that might unsettle some people. 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, a small step above Star Trek level sci-fi action intensity. For 1 point, under frightening and intense scenes, the antagonistic race and the main villain in particular show a discomforting lack of empathy and concern for the lives of their subordinate human captives and even each other, leading to several pointless deaths. One scene has the main villain laughing while two humans wrestle over one oxygen mask in an in-hospital atmosphere. Casey, what do you think this movie is?
Planet of the Apes?
Hal, what do you think?
Battlefield Earth.
Zach, what do you think?
It is Battlefield Earth.
Oh, you're right.
The movie that doesn't take place on Earth, Battlefield Earth.
I am so pissed I didn't get it earlier. Fuck.
Me too.
Fuck.
Me too.
That's one of the only bad movies I've never seen.
Yeah, I've also never seen it.
It's been jammed down my throat by the internet since 2008, I think. But I'm like,
Yeah,
get a load of this bad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, my Scientologist mentor keeps telling me to watch it.
It's like the
I
two-star
gotta get
movies
the classics first.
the two-star movies are streaming everywhere.
Yeah, this has a 2.5 on IMDb, which is real difficult to get. I don't.
He tries really hard. He tries so hard.
He stole that role from Tom Cruise, and I'll never find anything funnier. Tom Cruise was so pissed that John Travolta was cast in this movie.
They should be friends. I don't get it.
He should be glad.
Yeah.
All right. We're on to the last movie. Hal at 14, Zach at 13, Casey's at 3, but can still try for high score. I will say right now the highest non-winning score I think is 9. So Zach, you get to pick this last movie.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go with a movie from 1953, 2009, or 2019?
Let's go 2009.
2009. Okay, last movie from 2009. It's a one-word title. It's rated PG, and it is currently in IMDb's top 250 movies of all time. We're on the other end of the spectrum again.
Say the things again. It's a good
one-word title, rated PG, in IMDb's top 250. For 5 points under violence and gore, a man is hit over the head with a cane, leaving him with a bloody gash, but it is seen briefly.
Yeah, there it is. I couldn't get it to go.
Okay.
I can't remember the name. I can't remember. Oh, I'll try.
Oh, Casey, what do you think this movie is?
Is it Up?
Hal, what do you think?
It's Up.
Zach?
I believe it is Up.
I think this is the first episode where every player is going to get an invitation to the semifinals. This is at number 112, best movie of all time, Up.
Yay.
Other clues in that: violence and gore. In a brief montage, a boy falls from the top floor of a house to the bottom floor, is rushed away in an ambulance, and then shown with a cast on his arm. Moments later, he hits himself in the head with the cast. Violence and gore: a dog bites the leg of a large bird. It causes the bird to limp. A blood bite mark is shown. Frightening and intense scenes: a scene where a man is looking through a scrapbook may be emotional to some. The ending is also intensely emotional. There have been several accounts of people of all ages crying multiple times during the movie. And frightening, intense scenes, if you can believe it. In the first 10 minutes, Carl meets Ellie at a young age, and years later they get married. They renovate the same house they first met in and seem very happy together. As the years pass, just like all human beings, they get older. Ellie then dies by what appears to be either old age or a disease in a very emotional way before leaving Carl all by himself. I feel like that is a movie that is rated that high based solely on the first 10 minutes.
Oh my God, you're the first person. I don't like that movie very much. And I'm like, it's such a great short film, followed by like
Exactly.
an hour of really annoying stuff.
Like, I don't think it's annoying. It's just, it's fine. All of it is fine. But that
It feels
first
like the
10
last
minutes,
hour feels like current Pixar. Like, oh, we're gonna
Yeah.
do some stupid bullshit. Canada.
it gives
Fuck
you
it.
that first 10 minutes, and then it gives you a little bit of sweet sadness at the end. So you leave
Yeah.
thinking that was a great movie.
Yes. Oh my God. Thanks, Nick.
Our,
Vindication.
our final scores tonight, incredible. Casey at 8 points. Zach in second place with 18 points. But our winner tonight with 19 points, Hal Griffin.
Yay!
Thanks, guys. Good game, everybody.
I'll say it. That is the most competitive game so far of this series.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No,
Oh.
This is the first time that the last round meant something. Yeah, right now, the highest non-winning score is 8 points. Casey, you tied it.
Yeah.
And the highest winner is 20 points. Below that is 16. So you both beat that. So I look forward to seeing all three of you again.
Yeah.
If you are willing to do another show of this next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
This has been so great. I had so much fun with this. I'm so glad that Casey, you fucking redeemed yourself.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you took the words right out of my mouth. Redemption is sweet. I got lucky on a couple.
I guess you just have to be 20 minutes late and you'll be really good.
No, I won't next time though. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Well, let's wrap this up. Before we go, if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or just any last words to end this show, Casey, we'll start with you.
I am headlining McHugh's Comedy Club August 10th. I think that's it. That's
great. Go see Casey.
Oh, my Amazon special is out.
Oh yeah, look,
highly disordered. Yeah, highly disordered.
Zach, anything you want to say before we go?
My schedule is wide open, so book me. And then other than that, just hey, keep being you. Be the best you can be.
Oh, what a sweet way to end this. Hal, from the first episode all the way to this one, anything you want to say before we head to the next round?
Not really. I'm just excited to keep going. See where this goes.
I am excited to maybe give one of you $100.
Yeah.
That means a lot to comics. Normally we get at least $100 less than that.
Right.
Well, I think that is all we have. What a tight episode. You guys just destroyed this. Thank you once again to my guests, Casey McNeal, Hal Griffin, Zach Jones. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook if you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. That's where you can get more information about the tournament as well as whatever comedy comes next. And also you can keep up with any of your favorite guests on this show. The group's going to stay open. They can promote their stuff in there. You can also find the show on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game if I ever decide to update those. If you want to be on this show before it ends, you are running out of time. But if you reach out to me before the final episode, which at this point is looking like August 3rd, I will find a space for you, even if we have to make that 10th game. I want to make sure everybody who wants to be on the show can be on the show. We got another fun one coming up this Thursday night, 7/18 at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Mike Giordano, Doug Fitzgerald, Connor Shanahan, and Matt Shore.
Oh.
So you're going to want to watch that. And in the meantime, I think you can binge at least 150 of these episodes. Get all caught up before the finale. Like, subscribe, do YouTuber stuff that I feel like I don't have to tell you. YouTube has existed for over 10 years now. I think you know what to do. People have yelled at you enough. But do that for me, because it makes the dopamine go up and I feel good. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Come back for the next one. Goodbye, everybody.